Day 2 of our Ohio River Scenic Byway. We are in Canalton, Indiana, and this main street is adorable. I would have loved to have seen it in its heyday, but it's still just as beautiful. Take a look around.
This old hotel, pretty cool. The sign over the doorway says A.L. and Brothers, 1867. I have no idea who A.L. is, but anyway, apparently they had an old hotel here. The steamboats would have landed here on the Ohio River here in Indiana, and that's just really was an exciting time in Indiana right after the Civil War, and big booms going on. So anyway, yeah, just a really cool town. It's a shame that these buildings are in such disrepair, but we enjoy looking at them all the same.
Just off the beaten path, we come down here and find this old cotton mill made into apartments. It is beautiful. And I don't think I need to say this, but I'm going to. Indiana limestone.
The building was erected in 1849, and by the time 1850 rolled around, there was 400 people employed here with 375 looms running. The river is right there in front of me, so the boats could come up the river with cotton, the steamboats could with cotton, and just a few hundred yards away would be, they could just move it right up here. Once upon a time, this was the largest industry in Indiana at the time. This was a working cotton mill until 1954 when it closed down. So today it's just an apartment, but boy, what a beautiful building made from Indiana limestone. We just love these old buildings. With 500 people employed here at this mill, there would have been plenty of industry supporting all those workers that are here. You see behind me was an old general store, plenty of churches. You can hear the church bells ringing this morning. And what a cute little town, full of charm. Can't imagine this thing back in the mid-1800s. When you think about life in this town back in the day, you have to think about this mill would have been running during World War II, and you think about all the parents and people would be working there in the mill, and then just right up the street from that was the high school. So these young people would go to school here while their parents were working at the mill, and just as all part of the World War II effort. This was going on until 1954. Yeah, just an interesting town, and I like to sit back and look at that and think about all the young people that passed through those doors and what they're doing with their lives even today. Just outside of Canalton, as we're headed east on 66, we've seen all these tobacco drying barns where they're hanging tobacco in. So we thought, hey, we'll stop and take a look at that, because this is something, that those of you in other parts of the country probably don't see much, but here in southern Indiana and over in Kentucky, they grow some tobacco. And so I thought you'd like to see the process by which they hang it. So they've got these huge, let me walk over here. They got these huge barns, and it just hangs there. And you can see here's the staves, that they use to hold the tobacco up in the racks with. Don't know much about tobacco. I'm not a tobacco user, but I find the whole agricultural thing behind it very interesting, and thought I'd give you a look at it. You can imagine it smells just like a tobacco shop in here, almost like pipe tobacco, but it's quite massive, and there's probably 10 of these buildings around here that they got tobacco hanging in. Just thought I'd take you inside and take a look at it.
On the Ohio Scenic Byway. We're entering Troy, Indiana, and it sets on the Ohio River.
So here in Troy, Indiana, you can literally drive right down to the banks of the river here. They got some boat launches where you can go in and put your boat in if you want to. Nancy and I were just saying, boy, this would be an awesome boondocking spot. I don't know. I don't see any signs or anything, but it's too early for us to stop. We thought we'd stop really quick right here on the river and show you the lock that's here. The observation deck and everything is closed for COVID, so you can't see much, but I didn't want to just blow by it and not show you. So this is the on the Ohio River, and this is one of the locks and dams. We actually just missed a barge locking through as we were pulling up, and it's been fun to show you that. But yeah, I don't know, there's several of these on the Ohio River, and normally you could go up on the observation deck and take a look, but thought we'd show it to you anyway. Wow, just as I was about to leave here and say that there was no barges, I actually look up the river and see one coming. Now, it appears that they've opened the gate on the far lock, not the one that's right next to us, but we'll be able to see that nonetheless. I'm going to stick around here and show you, probably not the whole process, but at least the barge pulling in the lock. Interesting, and I'm happy because I really love to watch things all related to the river. I'm always amazed by the level of skill that it takes to move these huge machines into these narrow spots. You can see those two guys standing on the front. That must be a really cold job in the winter time, but you know, it's not too bad today, but it is raining. So hard work by hardworking American people. It's just it's amazing, and it's what keeps the country great, and I just love seeing this. There you have it. That's the Edith trip going through the lock here at Canalton. Next time you flip on your lights, you think about that coal is headed to some power plant someplace to generate electricity for your home, to heat it, to power your computers and your devices. Think about those two guys standing on the end of that barge there in the cold weather, providing electricity for you. So, fun things to think about. We're gonna head on down the Ohio Byway here.
We are at Morengo Cave, and no, I am not going in. But if you remember, Ed and Joel went this summer.
Yeah, so if you like caves and you missed our video, me and my grandson did this cave, just a few months ago, but we're still on the Ohio River Scenic Byway, and this cave sits on the byway, so
we're gonna have lunch.
We're gonna stop in here and see. I don't know if we're gonna have lunch, I don't know what's in here, but we're gonna see.
Ta-da!
I think that's funny because I was just telling Nancy, our grandson walked up here and did this thing like 3 or 4 times in a row.
Yeah, no,
but
he can't do it.
He's really good at sports, so he knew he did. I haven't been able to hit it. Anyway, we're gonna get back on the road.
I love wind chimes. Ed hates them. He takes mine down every winter because he doesn't want to hear it, but I love them, and they had them for sale in there. I didn't even ask, but listen to this.